And we're glad you could join us. We begin yet again in Garissa, where one person was killed earlier today in a violent confrontation between security agents and rioters.
Several other people were injured in the riots. Now, the protest was sparked off by the deployment of KDF soldiers in the town following the killing of 3 of their own yesterday. KTN's Catherine Omwando begins our news coverage tonight from that northeastern town.
The flames that consumed Garissa market have died down, and now residents are slowly picking up whatever can be salvaged, which is not much, except for corroded iron sheets and piles of vegetables left by their owners. They collect what they can, constantly looking over their shoulders, fearing that KDF soldiers and police officers will return and cause more damage. Security agencies have as good as declared a state of emergency. No one walks the streets of Garissa freely. No one travels in or out of the town without identifying themselves. And even so, privacy has become a luxury here.
I'm angry as anyone because I also belong to this town.
The minister was also quick to distance himself from deployment of soldiers in Garissa.
I'm not a person who can say that sweeps will be, it's not my duty. There's a provincial security committee and district security committee who are responsible for the safety of every citizen here.
What is this? What is this? It's precisely because of the failure of the government, other machineries, that our Kenya Defense Forces are being targeted. But the Kenya Defense Forces cannot also behave like a militia.
Security forces must make a distinction between those ones who have broken the law and the innocent, ordinary Kenyans who must be protected. You don't use an excuse.
After the killing of 3 KDF soldiers, living in Garissa town has become a nightmare, as security agencies seem to have gone on the rampage searching for the assailants. Earlier Tuesday morning, Garissa town was a no-go zone. A group of youth armed with clubs and stones clashed with KDF and police officers. The youth are protesting the officers' apparent brutality. In Tuesday's chaos, 1 person died, 6 others were shot by security officers, and 9 sustained minor injuries. They are currently recuperating at the Garissa General Hospital. Residents, however, dispute the number of those wounded, claiming that there could be more than 30 who have been injured. This is in addition to 44 who were injured on Monday. Police insist that they are in control of the situation, but Garissa town remains a ghost town. Catherine Omwando, KTN.
Well, the events that have unfolded in Garissa are the basis of our big question this evening, where we ask you if you support the deployment of the military in Garissa.
Well, we'd love to know what you think. SMS us either yes or no to the number 8040. We'll of course be sampling your comments and give you the poll result at the very end of this live newscast.
And well, speaking of Garissa, our reporter Eric Njoka now joins us from that northeastern town with the very latest. Over to you, Njoka.
Now in Garissa town at the moment seems relatively calm, given that the Defense Minister Yusuf Haji made a surprise visit to the residents, calming them down and also reasoning with them, promising that the government is going to take action to all those people who are committing atrocities here. And he went on to defend the Kenya Defense Forces soldiers, saying that they're doing their job, stating that the house-to-house searches are a mandatory thing for the soldiers. They have to conduct it, however bad it may seem to the residents. However, the residents and also members of parliament surrounding this area, they say that these house-to-house searches were conducted in full atrocities, if I may say, because they claim that KDF soldiers were harassing and torturing women. These claims were said or were stated by Duji's Member of Parliament, Ada Ndwale, for example, who stated that KDF soldiers are to blame for the confusion that is going on in Garissa town. Earlier on to today, when we arrived in Garissa town, the shops, all businesses were closed. people opting to work indoors and conducting their businesses indoors. The streets were deserted or vacated, actually. Since that time, at midday, KDF soldiers were making their round patrol in Garissa town when they shot in the air. It is not completely, has not completely been stated why the soldiers fired in the air, leaving 6 people injured and rushed to hospital. Unfortunately, one woman succumbed to her injuries. We are also told that 15 other people are nursing gunshot wounds, and in total 40 people have been hospitalized at the Garissa Provincial Hospital. Well, what I can report right here, right now, is that the situation in Garissa town is a little bit settled. People have returned to their normal working conditions. People have returned to their homes. There is no confusion. However, the police are still conducting their usual patrols and the house-to-house searches looking for these so-called Al-Shabaab insurgents.